Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian, I'm a data scientist, and I'm launching this podcast to track my progress and share some thoughts in the journey of making data products. So I'm a freelance in data science. I work for big companies and small startups, and I'm making more and more progress towards converting myself from a freelance consultant guy to a data product creator or maker. So I have a blog which is called dataintoresult.com, which you can find in the notes below. And it's a blog about data science for startups. So not especially just for startups, there are some broader topics, but with a focus on startups and the startup roles. I also launched, not quite long ago, I think it's about a week, a new website which is databrewery.co. Which is my first data product, which is an ETL. So ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. So take data from somewhere else, transform it so it is more useful to, or more easy to be used, and then load it into a data warehouse where people can find it. People like data analysts, like business analysts, and stuff like that. This product is already used by one of my clients and it's working flawlessly since 2 weeks ago, so I'm quite happy about that. So, how does Data Brewery work? Like most ETL products, it can gather your data from cloud providers, which is all the SaaS tools you can imagine. It will take those data, put them in the data warehouse, then brew them with SQL. We use SQL as first-class citizen in the product. We are not using drag and drop or WYSIWYG tools. And you can therefore craft what I call the perfect model, which is make data more useful for analysts, for data analysts, data scientists, business analysts, and so on. Let's see an example here. So here you have a lot of external data, which is Google Analytics, Stripe, MailChimp, and Google Sheets and other data sources. The first step will be to integrate those data, so copy those data from external sources to the data warehouse, which is this part. Then we will improve the data value by blending some data sources and adding some business rules. And at the end, you will have data that is easily usable for business analysts, data scientists. So currently it's only a command line project, but the second part, which will be probably next year, will be to convert it as a SaaS product, where it is hosted on the cloud, and it will be more easier to manipulate. Since a month, I'm making the documentation. The product, as I said, is already used by one of my clients. But in order to be used by other people, the documentation part of the project is quite important. And I must say that last week I was a bit low on motivation because writing documentation afterwards, so when the product is already well advanced, is always painful and a bit depressing, I must say. So at some point I figured out, at one point I was low on motivation and just decided to, well, it's not finished. It will be very, very difficult for someone else to use the product, but let's just publish it anyway. So I put the link on one of the Reddit channel, and I have a lot of good feedbacks from people. And it's really three kind of feedbacks. One thing I learned is most people were asking for more connector, so more ways to ingest data sources. For instance, I have someone who asked for an Oracle connector, which is a big database in the market, which I don't have currently. Some others were asking for other SaaS product connectors. But what nobody asked for is more feature for manipulation in the data warehouse. And it was my idea that what is really important for this product is not to be able to connect more data sources, because there is a lot of products in the market that are able to connect with a lot of data sources. Some products focus just on it, like Stitch data. But my aim was more to focus on how you can model the data warehouse. So after the ingestion part, how you can model, blend, mix, and add business rules to those data. But in that case, no one asked for feature about it. For instance, one feature that is currently missing is the ability to test the data. So when you are modeling something, you want to test to be sure there is no regression. Nobody asked for it, so I think that's the kind of feature that provide probably value, but maybe not at the beginning. So I have to dig a little bit about that. The other feedback I had is someone telling me, well, your website is nice, but it's difficult to figure out if you are doing the website for developers or business people. And I told him that was a very great feedback, because it's difficult for me to know who my customer is. In the beginning, I was focusing on CFOs, because in startups, the project is for startups after 10 or 50 people. When you start to have data issues, and usually it's the CFO which is responsible to gather the data and put that in order. And what is interesting is that the product is not complete enough to be marketed for CFO. So I decided to put a website more for developers. So it was interesting to see that someone else that doesn't know that difficult part I have to deal with was capable to find out that effectively I have no idea which my customer is. So we will figure that out later. And lastly, I'm proud to announce that someone else, not me, is using the product just because I published it on Reddit. So that's a big achievement. Someone else using the product. So I'm quite happy about it, and I hope that more people will follow. At least it is my target for the end of the year. Thank you very much for watching, and maybe see you next time. Bye!